Hey guys, figured today I'd throw up a quick video of adjusting the chain tension on the new series Honda Rebel 300 and 500. This is the 500 here. The chain tensioning system is a little bit different on these than on some older style bikes. So it's worth noting that you may need some specialty tools that you might not have lying around in order to do this. I'm getting to the point my chain's about half an inch to an inch out of spec right now, so time to tighten it up. For the first time actually tightening it since it was new from factory, so everything's going to be on there a little factory tighten, but shouldn't be too bad. As you can see here, we've got the bike up on the paddock stand. You can do this by having somebody lift it up and put some boards under the bike, but these paddock stands, in my opinion, are an insanely awesome investment. You can get them on sale for $50, $60. I think Harbor Freight even makes one that may be cheaper than that. But I opted for a nice one since I lift so many bikes all the time. I mean, we gotta do maintenance on the two Groms, my Rebel, the other Rebel at the shop, and then my dad's CTX. So it's worth it to have one of these around, especially given the rates that some shops will try to charge you just to do maintenance on your chain when it's something you should be familiar with how to do for yourself anyway. Over here, we've got the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a 17 millimeter wrench. You're going to need a socket driver or a 5 millimeter Allen key. I found that this is a lot easier to do if you have the Allen key sockets. You're going to need a 24 millimeter socket for the axle nut. And you may need a, 14 millimeter hex drive for the other side of the axle. And I say you may need that because in a lot of instances you can get the axle nut loose without the other side spinning. I don't know if it's captured in there or not. I've never pulled the entire axle out of this, but in some instances I've heard of people having to have, classic style one wrench on one side and then a wrench on this side to get everything loose. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to loosen the axle nut so that we can have the free play we need to pull the whole rear tire back in the swing arm. So get set up for that here. Alright, and mine's a little loose because I was in here already just to see if that other one would spin. And I've got enough space there now. Should be plenty good. Then grab our small hex key and our 17 millimeter wrench. And now where this differs from some of the older style Honda ones is you don't have a piece of threaded rod with two lock nuts on it. You have a threaded hex bolt in here that threads into the chain tensioner in here, and much larger lock nut, which in my opinion is absolutely phenomenal to have. So you want to just break that free and loosen it up, and you can loosen it until you have about as much play in the end cap as you think you're going to need to adjust your chain. I'm going to go a little farther. And then what you do is you come in here with this and you tighten this down, and that's going to pull your chain back. I think I'm going to go to that mark there. And one thing that's important is there's these witness marks or hash marks on the side of the swing arm here, and those are very useful because they let you know how far you've adjusted each side back so that you can know when both of the sides are even. The last thing you want is for your chain to be uneven there so that you'll be weeble wobbling it back and forth. That's a fast way to break a link or bind up your chain, and nobody wants to deal with that. So it's always a good opportunity here to roll through and inspect your chain. I did that already here, so I won't walk you guys through that, but again, great opportunity to do that. If it's time to clean and lube your chain, you can do that as well. Mine's still very, very clean. I haven't ridden on any dirty roads or anything like that. So I'm going to go hop over to the other side and do the exact same thing, adjust it to the same marker here, and then I'll come back and show you guys how to tighten these up to keep your adjustment. Alright, so as it turns out, this is nearly impossible to do one-handed, and I don't have the tripod here for the camera since we're working in the game room instead of the shop, since the AC is out at the shop. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to put your wrench on like this, and you're going to put the Allen key into the hole in the end of the tensioner bolt there, and you're going to hold that steady while you tighten this. So the goal is to maintain your tension by keeping this exactly where you had it on both sides while you rotate this locking nut down until it's completely tight on this cover. So that's how you tighten it back up after you've gotten your factory spec on the chain deflection, which is up to 1.25 inches of free play. It's right there on the swing arm, and it's also in the user manual if you've managed to rub that sticker off or paint over it. And last but not least, you come in here and you tighten this back up to your torque spec. Again, I'd go verify that your hash marks match up. I don't know what the torque spec is for this off the top of my head, so I gotta go grab the torque wrench to torque it on there, and I'll put that up on the screen here. And that's really it. All there is to changing this out. Like I said, if for some reason your axle starts to rotate, it's a 14 millimeter hex drive in this side that you'll need. And I know I went and picked one of those up just to be safe, because it's not something that I normally keep around, especially in my home toolbox. So, you know, definitely make sure that you have all the tools before you start, because you don't want to get your bike up on the stand and then have to quit halfway through to go buy tools, or, you know, lo and behold, you're trying to get ready for a ride the next day and can't find the tool you need, so you have to postpone. It's a terrible scenario to be in. Again, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And, you know, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate it a ton. Thanks.